Well, hello everyone and welcome. We are so happy you're joining us today for this virtual workshop made possible thanks to our partners at Lowe's. Lowe's has been a USO partner for more than 10 years, and this is the fourth year in a row we're bringing these DIY workshops to the military community around the world. Today's on-screen team is Lowe's employees Jonathan Guy and Jordan McDonald. Jonathan and Jordan will be working together to demonstrate today's projects to help you prepare your home for a PCS move. Team, I'll pass it over to you.
Hi, welcome to our pre-PCS DIY workshop here that's presented by Lowe and the USO. I'm Jordan. And
I am Jonathan. I am currently going through a medical retirement from the Army.
And I'm a military spouse who, with my husband, we're getting ready to PCS actually at the end of this year. We've been in for 11 and a half years now.
And I just PCS'd in 2020 from Fort Benning, Georgia. So between the two of us, I've been in 16 years and Jordan's been in 11.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got plenty of PCS experience.
Yes, a lot of moving. All right, so in today's show, we're going to do a DIY on how to fix up your house before you move. So we're going to touch and base on how to patch walls, cover accent walls, if you have one painted in your living room, bedroom, whatever, how to clean carpets, and then how to prep your grill for shipping so it doesn't get all rusty and stuff when it's in the truck.
So first up, we need a volunteer to come punch a hole through this drywall.
So we have our volunteer here. Your name?
Brittany Rains.
Brittany Rains. And how long have you guys been in?
My husband has been active duty for 15 years.
Right on. Well, thank you for your service.
So a lot
right.
aggressive.
Yeah.
So if you want to go ahead and give her a mild whack.
What if I don't make it through the wall?
It's okay.
Just anywhere?
Then we
Yep,
still can
just go
patch
for it.
Okay.
Keep going. There we go.
Yay.
Yes, thank you. There we go. All right, so what you do to start out is if you have a hole such as this, if you're hanging pictures and you puncture through the wall like that, what you do is you cut out around cut a clean circle or square around the razor knife would be good for this. Just be careful and don't cut yourself. Always safety first. All right, so once you have this done, you would kind of sand down any of the edges that you have on here and make sure you have like a smooth surface. Then you would apply the putty, which we have here. So the putty we have here is a pink to white putty. You can find it in our paint department. It goes on pink, and when it's dry, it does completely dry white so that you know it's time to go ahead and sand, and then you can prep the wall. So what you'll do is you'll take a little bit of the putty, you'll go around the edge.
And as you can tell, it's pretty pink.
Yeah, it's neon pink, and it works very well. I've had to do this before. And once you have your starter surrounding area, you would put the netting on, and then you pour putty on there, and then just kind of press it in there. And when you do this, you usually go for like a wider circle so that it blends better into the wall, because then you'll cover it with a texture spray later on down the road because we'll come back to this when it's drier to show you what it'll look like after it's done drying. And you don't want to leave like the big chunks and stuff. You would want to smooth it out so it's kind of smooth, even if you have to drag it across the wall. All right, as this dries, we're going to move over and talk about carpet care for carpet cleaning, such as you would do before you would move. You could have it professionally done, or you could actually rent tools from us. We do have it in our customer service area or in our tool world, where you'd be able to rent the tools as such from us. So we'd start out with any kind of spot treatments you may have. If you have like a heavy traffic area, lots of kids by a doorway, anything like that where mud would get, you would use our Zepp's high traffic carpet. You'd take it in, you'd spray it, and then it would treat it so that it would sit before you would go in with your carpet cleaner. If you have just like spots, like a kid spilled like Kool-Aid or a soda drink or anything like that, what you would do is we do have a spray can here it's a spot treatment. So what you would do is you'd spray it on there, or you get the squirt bottle form. Again, you'd pre-treat, scrub it in, let it sit. And then once you're ready to go ahead and clean the whole carpet, you would run over it with our carpet cleaner. So you can rent this from us, or if you'd like, as well. but it is really easy to use. We do sell attachments for it. So if you wanted to do like upholstery, so couches, chairs, anything like that. And then we do sell the cleaner that goes in this. So we do have different varieties. So stuff for like pets, anything that has like a high traffic area, like a more concentrated version, like a industrial strength. If you have like a business or anything, you could use that as well. From there, we would actually move on to.
So I got a quick question,
Okay.
Jordan. So if I wanted to rent one of these Bissells, what department would I rent it from?
So you could go to Pro. We do have a tool world down there. So it would be like a tool rental area that is going to be coming to Lowe's near us. And then we do offer it at our customer service desk. So if you go up front, tell them you want to rent one of our carpet shampooers, we will be able to fill the paperwork out. And then we do 1 to 2 day rentals. If you need it for longer, we do accommodate that as well. All right, so we're going to move on. So we're going to have our paint board here. So it's a beautiful blue. The walls you have, you're going to have a lighter color on all your walls and have one darker wall. It makes the room longer. And when you move, typically you want to cover this. So with this being a dark color, we have a great our multi-surface primer and sealer. This is great for sealing the wall. It also is a great job at hiding dark colors such as this. So typically 1 coat of this, and then you're ready to go ahead and paint over it with whatever color you are going to paint your room. But before we actually do primers and anything like that, we do have a wall cleaning thing. So if you have little kids, crayons get everywhere. So we have a cleaner. It's our Zep foaming wall cleaner. So if you were to go in there and have a kid draw on there, so what you would do is you'd go ahead and you'd spray it on and let it sit for a few minutes. We have paper towels here. Once it sets, then it goes ahead and it will soak in there, and it'll actually take off the crayon, the majority of it anyways. So it's not noticeable whenever you go ahead and paint over these walls. It won't leave like a waxy film whenever you go to paint that area. As you can tell, it does take a majority of the crayon actually off the wall, and this is a very textured wall as well. So usually 1 or 2 applications, and then you can get almost all of the crayon out. Once you do that, give it a second to dry, and then you go in with the Valspar primer. So I have some here ready to go. Would anybody like to come up and try it? And it's either side you want to, that you would want to do. And you can even paint over the tape if you'd like.
Okay.
So the tape is, yep, so you just put whatever you want to on there and then kind of take the excess off on the thing. And then whatever one. So you put it on, and it will go on, you let it dry about an hour for a full-size room. Definitely open up your windows because you don't want to be breathing in all that paint fume. So once this dries and it's even like this, it's ready to go. You can go ahead and put in a coat of paint. We do have our Sherwin-Williams High Showcase, which is a 1 coat paint, which is what I did this in literally 1 coat. I didn't have to add any excess to this. I didn't have to paint over it again.
What kind of tape is that, Jordan?
So this is our frog tape. So this is what you would use if you would like to use if you wanted to do like an accent wall in your next home or any sharp corners you may have. This actually is great for adhering to textured walls. We also have our Scotch blue tape, which is what you would usually see for regular painter's tape. You would use that for around like doorways and windows and such. If you're painting all of those, then that would give you that line so you weren't painting on your trim. Another thing to talk about is the finish. So on most walls, what you see is an eggshell or a satin finish, which has a slight shine to it. And it is what you would see in all homes, bathrooms, living room. It's going to have the least amount of cleaning. So you can scrub on these. So they have a scrub shield. So if you were to scrub the walls for any reason, the paint wouldn't transfer off. So if you were doing like a ceiling and such, you would do a flat coat because you don't want your ceiling and your wall to be the same consistency. Otherwise, the room looks one giant thing. And then for trim and doors, you you would use a semi-gloss or a high gloss. And usually it's because it gives that contrast between a kind of flat finish versus a shiny finish. All right, now that we got that done, thank you so much. Oh. And then while this dries, we can talk about the showcase here. So this quart size here would do almost two bathroom walls for sure in one quart. This stuff is scrub shield technology in it so that you can scrub the walls even when they are this bright color. And you can spray them with the cleaners, and the cleaner won't make the paint transfer off of it. We do offer the showcase version, which is our high hide, and we offer a Valspar, which would be our reserve. It's also a coat finish as well. Have any questions about painting?
Why is frog tape better than the painter's blue tape?
So frog tape will adhere better to a textured surface because it has a higher density of adhesive on the back of it. So it's going to get into all those little nooks and grooves so that when you pull this off, you have a straight line. So when this dries a little, I'll go ahead and I'll pull it off so you guys can see the line. With blue tape, you'd have some leaking around the edges because it's more for a flat surface on like a door or such you would get, or just painting around like trim. It isn't meant to do like fine lines on like a accent wall. So I would definitely recommend the frog tape for any kind of designs you would want to do on a wall.
You guys have drop cloths?
We do. We sell a variety of drop cloths. So we do have a blue Scotch from Scotch blue tape. It is a tape and a drop cloth in one. So what you would do is you would actually take the tape and you'd roll it out, and it has a drop cloth that comes with it, so it automatically covers as you're taping the area. But we also offer canvas drop cloths if you wanted something that's not going to be like a slippery mess if you were getting on. And then we also offer plastic drop cloth as well. We do offer them in a variety of sizes. Most sizes you're going to get are going to be between 8 feet and like 25 feet. And then we do sell all the add-ons that you may need. Paint brushes. The best paintbrush if you're going to do edging or trim work is going to be our Purdy's. They are the best to clean. So you can use soap and water for any latex base. Just hot soap, dishwash, and Dawn dish soap would be the best to clean these with. If you were using like an oil base, if you were staining something or anything like that, you would actually use a paintbrush cleaner. This would soak on the bristles, and then once it's done, you would rinse it out, and it would bring all the paint residue out of it. All right, so Jonathan, you want to go ahead and take it away?
Yes, ma'am. So summertime, we all love barbecuing, but one thing that we hate, I know I do anyways, is I hate to clean my grill. So one of the things that works incredibly well is made by Weber. It's a crate grill cleaner. This works really well. So we offer different types of brushes. These are plastic ones. You do not want to use these when your grill is hot because it will melt to your grill. For that, we have metal cleaners for it. The good thing about this spatula cleaner is you have the plastic on the side. You can use the plastic for the cold, but after you're done cooking, if it's still hot, you can just flip it over and you can take the wood and you can sit there and clean the crates with it. So that's a good thing about that. And then if you want something even easier, Citrus Safe comes in a variety of products. We've got this, and then we've got the scrub brush with it as well. And in the event that none of this works, one of my favorite things is I use Dawn dish soap with a mixture of these cleaners, and it cleans really well.
So whenever you clean with Dawn, do you actually soak it, or can you just like use it in a spray bottle and spray it on and clean it, or would you prefer soaking?
That's a good question, Jordan. I'm glad you brought that up. Me personally, I soak it on there. I give it that extra, 10, 15 minutes on top of it depends on where it's at. But for the underneath where you can't really see, I use Dawn for that because Dawn will sit there and it'll hold it in place.
Okay.
So then you can just spray it off.
Okay. So whenever you are done with cleaning and you want to protect your grates again after they're all nice and clean, we do have a Weber grill spray. This is non-stick and it is also non-flammable. So even if you sprayed it on there, like if there's flame, this would not flare up like most sprays would. Any aerosols usually would flame up if you sprayed them. This one will not. It also will help you save from having all your food stick to the grate as you're cooking. Good. All right. So over here on our wall, we're coming back. So it's not quite all the way dry, but you can see that it is drying. So you can see here where it is drying on white. So it will be a complete white once it's done, finished drying. So what you would do is once it's done drying completely, you'd go across this with your sander. You'd only do it on the white part, but once you get all the rough edges and everything down, you get it kind of smooth so that it looks like it's part of the wall again. You would go through and you dust off all the excess dust. You can use a paintbrush or like a broom. Once it's done, you would actually spray on this textured adhesive here. It's called a wall texture spray. So it has different settings on it depending on the size of the texture on your wall. So if you wanted to go with a heavy texture, something that's like more like a popcorn feeling, you'd open it full blast. But if it's not, it's more like a medium to low grade on texture, you would leave it as is. You have to shake it really well. Once it's good to go, you'd spray it on there. You'd stand about the width of Jonathan and I are apart, spray the wall and let it dry. Once it's dried off, you can just go ahead and you can paint over it with the same paint that's on the wall, or if you wanted to do a different color, you could do it that way as well.
And I do want to mention that you can find everything that we've done on Lowe's.com under DIY projects. It'll talk about all the products that we have currently used today.
And on how to do them. So it gives you the how-tos, and it will walk you through how to patch a wall, how to cover up accent walls, clean the grill, do the carpets and all that stuff. So I would go ahead and I would, you would use the mesh. We do have some where the mesh is actually behind it and you would fill in with just the spackling. But with those, you have more of it would take a lot longer to dry. So with the mesh like this, it actually takes a lot less time. It acts as the same way as like the wallpaper, or not wallpaper, the drywall paper would. It acts as a sealant. And then the drywall mud, it goes right through. And then, yeah, so we have this is for the heavier consistencies. So it's a heavier duty mesh instead of like the fabricy one. This one actually has a metal grate in the middle, as well as like the mesh paper that you would use if you were actually just completely drywalling a wall.
So we do offer a variety of patch kits at Lowe's.
It depends on the size of the hole and then like the wear of the area. So we do have like stuff, like the one he has right here is more of a heavy duty. So it's a heavy set. So if you have somewhere that's a high traffic area where people keep bumping into the walls and stuff like that, and that's how holes get put in them, then that's what you would use because it has a higher impact rate than like say this one you would use in an area where you wouldn't have as much traffic. Like if you were putting up pictures or something like that and you accidentally like ding the hole or punched a hole through it by mistake, that's what you would use.
And that kit has the putty inside.
Yes, so the kits actually come with the putty, the grates, and the knives, and the sandpaper as well. And they have instructions on how to use all of them and what's the best way to do it.
So, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but my wife, she likes to constantly rearrange the house. So whenever she rearranges it, you can get the kids to help out and they'll punch a small hole in the wall. So off to Lowe's I go to get me a small patch.
If you have a textured accent wall, how do you take off the texture?
So if you had a textured accent wall, what you would do to remove the texture is you'd actually have to scrape it. You would get a putty knife and then you go through with the paint. We do have paint thinners that you could spray on. Once you have that on there, you would scrape off the texture and then it would give you a flat surface again. So once you have the texture off, it would be able to paint it as a flat surface again.
Or if you're like me and you like loud noises, just use a sander.
Yes, you could sand the wall as well. We do sell block sander, so it's much easier to use. It's sanded on all sides and it also has a textured side. So if you have something that's a little bit more of like a rough texture, it's easier to take off without having to have like all the sanders and like little sandpapers with the holders. It's a lot easier to use just the sanding blocks that we carry.
All right. And the next one from the audience is, can you name the carpet and wall cleaner again and explain how we can rent those?
Yeah. So the carpet cleaner is our Bissell. It's a carpet cleaner. And it does come with our Bissell product. So we do sell this all separately. So you can rent just the carpet cleaner. If you need the attachments, they do come with it as well. If you have cleaner at your house that you've already have that you want to use, you can use that in this. And then for spot treatments, what I would recommend is either a ZEP high traffic spot cleaners, which you would pre-treat. So you'd spray it on, scrub it in, leave it set for a few minutes, and then go over it with the carpet cleaner. Or you could use the spot cleaner. So this is the spray version. And then we also have a foam aerosol can version.
So I actually used the Bissell cleaner 2 months ago versus my actual carpet cleaner. And this actually worked a lot better than the one that I purchased myself with the ZEP high traffic carpet spot.
Yeah, so these cleaners are more what you would find in industrial settings. So if you hired a professional to clean your carpets, this is the kind of carpet cleaner that they would use. And then for the wall cleaners, it's actually called the ZEP foaming wall cleaner. It comes in an aerosol can. You would find this on your cleaning aisle where all your chemicals and such are for cleaning, dish soap, all that stuff. It is amazing. So you would use it with your paper towels. You could use it with a microfiber cloth or even just like a scrubby. And it would be great for getting off fingerprints, crayon marker. Little girls get a hold of the makeup, the lipstick on the wall.
Can you talk about cleaning laminate floor and removing minor scratches?
So with laminate floor cleaners, we do offer one from Resolve. It is a brand that Lowe's carries. They do offer laminate cleaning, so it's specific to laminate flooring, but we also carry wipes. So we do have stuff you would attach to like a Swiffer wiper or the Bona cleaning brand. It is specific to laminate flooring, because with laminate flooring, you can only use specific brands and chemicals to clean with. Otherwise, it would cause swelling in the laminate at the intersections. So we have special cleaners just for laminate flooring. The same goes for vinyl and any kind of tile we have as well.
So one thing that I found that works great
Mhm.
with the laminate flooring is the Mr. Clean dry erasers.
Yes, those are great for taking out any kind of scuffs you see on the floor. And with scratches and such we do carry spot markers. So you would be able to buy a pack of markers that are for laminate and hardwood flooring. They are, you get about 5 colors in each one so that you can mix and match to match the color that you have on your floor. So if you have a multicolored floor, they would offer the color in the package. You would just color it on and it would seal that hole.
And what department would have them?
You could either go to the flooring department or you could see your aisle one, well, in our store, it's aisle 1 cleaning. Any of the cleaning departments would have it as well.
All right, for the next one, we're gonna go to something that may be a little bit different. So there is a question about what do you do about permanent markers? So I'm guessing somebody got a hold of a permanent marker.
Okay. So a permanent marker, what I would suggest is first using a magic eraser. It would be the best because it would help break down that chemical compound that is a magic marker. And then you can use the cleaning spray on the wall after you've used the magic eraser, because the magic eraser will help break it down. I would just allow the foaming wall cleaner to sit on the wall a little bit longer. And it may take 2 or 3 applications to get it all the way off, but it should come all the way off. So our wall's already dry. So what you do is once you peel the tape off, ta-da! And it is great for the textured walls just because it does adhere better. So you won't get like the bleed through as you would with some other paint tapes. All right. So if you would like to find out anything about this, again, we do have it on the Lowe's.com website at our DIY workshops. It does talk about everything that we've discussed here today. Thank you for joining us.